So, as you guys know, I make a lot of tune videos in Forza Horizon 6, and I've shown off a lot of builds, and it is the thing that I like doing. I've been trying to kind of improve my tuning skills in Forza, and I feel like I really have. I'm going to be trying to share every single tip that I have about making tunes for drifting, and kind of sharing everything while building a car from the ground up. And hopefully by the end of the video, we have something that will be pretty sick. So, so what I'm going to be building today is this S13. Now, I did have a tune for this, but I don't really like it or enjoy it. So I think I can make it 10 times better, and we're going to be doing that today. So this is our base car for today. Let's go ahead and let's start this. Now, obviously in custom upgrades, this is where we're going to put all our upgrades onto this car. Starting out, we do have a body kit for this car that I do actually quite like. So let's throw that on there. And as well, I'm going to change that hood to the Origin Lab hood because it's pretty sick. And I do like a good wingless S13. Now, tires. This is where things start to get a little interesting. I'm going to break this down into sections that hopefully make this a little bit more understandable. Starting out, I feel like the slipperiest tires we have to work with are standard. Standard tires are a stock compound that are on some vehicles. They're not on all, but if they are, it's actually pretty good. What standard tires is, it's a little bit more slippier, kind of like it's a little bit more of like a worn down tire. It's a very, very close to snow tires. It's that sort of feeling, but they allow just maybe a little more grip, I feel like, out of them. But they're actually a really fun tire to use, especially on stuff that are low horsepower, like an A86. Like a 300 horsepower standard tires, A86 goes really hard if you guys have not tried that. So I would say your slipperiest tires are snows and standard stock tires. There's a lot of different stock tires. Some cars have sports, some cars have street and stuff like that. But when there's an actual standard tire, it's actually really good. Next up, we have street tires. This is a little bit of your intermediate tire that honestly works with pretty much every single build that I've tried. This is the tire I have been using. It's just a really good tire, and I've enjoyed it quite a lot. But I would say that this is for that 500, 400, 500 to even like 600 horsepower builds. This is where this tire can be really used and really helpful. Then we have sport tires. This is for your little bit more higher horsepower, as these tires have a lot of grip to them, which means you're going to have to use higher horsepower to break that traction. So these are really good if you're running more horsepower. And honestly, these tires are not that terrible. It's just, if you like more grip, that's what you want to go with. Next up, we have semi-slicks. These aren't really used. These are more for kind of street cars or race cars. So that's kind of that. We do have slicks. That's the same deal. Now, drift tires. These are actually really good for point drifting with rear-wheel drive cars. It's in the same vein as snow tires, but these have way more grip. But it allows you to get almost the same amount of points with these tires as snow tires from my kind of testing. And these tires are actually a lot of fun with the right car. I feel like these are also high horsepower tires, being that these are on the Formula Drift cars. But I do use them on a GR86, and that thing is really good, which has like 600 horsepower. So this is a very versatile tire. It is a little awkward, I feel like, for its grip delivery and kind of output, but it is a really cool tire and can be used. And I know a lot of people like to use it for drifting. I use it here and there. Then we have rally tires, not really used too much for drifting, but they are there. And off-road racing tires, obviously those two are for more rally stuff and off-road stuff, not necessarily drifting, so that's kind of those. And then we have drag tires. These are usually used in all-wheel drive drift tunes just because it gives you that forward bite and forward grip. But for rear-wheel drive drifting, which is what I do not use this. So in my case for today, I kind of want to mess around with something. For now, I'm going to stick with my basic go-to street tires, but it's definitely fun to mess around with them. Now, for our front and rear tire width, this is personal preference. Some people like to have more front tire grip. I like to have more rear tire grip, but it really comes down to what your preference is, and how you figure that out is this is my one biggest tip for anything tune related. Try tunes. Don't be afraid to try people's tunes, especially when you're learning what you like. When you learn those preferences, it's easier to build a car around yourself than trying to forcibly use someone's tune. I like to show you guys my stuff so that way you know what you guys are going to be using, quote unquote, for my tune. But I would say mess around with them. So how I like to set mine up is I like to go for a 225 or a 245 front. I'm rarely ever going into the 275s unless I have a giant rear wheel. But in this case, let's do a 225. And in the rear, I like a 245 to 265. That's kind of my range. I just think it's a very good and consistent kind of grip put out, and it's enough for a lower horsepower tune, whereas 65s are more for the higher stuff. Unless I'm using an FD car, that's really where I get to the 285s or 295s in the rear. Just allows to kind of get more of that grip down in the rear. But then on an FD car, if it's 295 in the rear, I like to use a 275 front. So as you can see, my preference is a 20 difference between the front and rear. So again, 275, 295 rear. But in this case, I'm using a 225 and a 245 rear. Now, rim size, I don't know if this matters too much in Forza, but usually you can kind of mess around with this, having like the rear a bigger tire, like tire size, rim size. Like I know that's a thing in car, especially with comp stuff, to either have more or less kind of what's it like movement. I'm forgetting the term for it right now, but there is a thing with it, but I don't think it matters too much in this game. But in my case, I usually just like to go for looks, and I'm gonna go with the 17. I think those are pretty good on this car. But usually it's like 17 to 19 is kind of my rim size on any car, unless it's a certain style I'm going with. Now, drivetrain stuff, usually this is all stuff you want to be upgraded to race. So things like clutch, driveline, and the differential. And the differential, you want to have it on drift. It just allows the full unlockable tuning. But if you want to do rally, that does the same thing. And also race does the same thing. So it doesn't matter really too much. At least I don't think so. Now in transmission, again, depends on what you want. I normally like a 6-speed in my car, so it's usually race transmission, or unless I have to upgrade it by 1. But it just depends on preference of gearing. You can throw in like a 4-speed, like I know we have the drift transmission 4-speed. You can chuck that in there, and if you want 4, it really just depends. I mean, 10 gears, you might be a little crazy. Now we're in platform and handling. Brakes, upgrade that to race. Spring and dampeners, obviously we're going to put that on drift. Not too much there. Roll bars. These kind of, the best way to put it in a simple term is the predictability of the car. If you have them on race, this allows you to make the front end a little bit more predictable by being able to adjust it and being able to kind of control where the front end is going. This is kind of where that does it. At least I feel like in my experience. Especially with that S15, the white one that I built, where I have that on stock. It allows the car to really just be chucked and also be controlled at the same time with it being off. So you can make it work. But I feel like for normal kind of flowy tandem driving, you really want to go with race. Especially if you're just used to cars like that. I would say race, but it is, again, fun to mess around. And the same thing with the rear. It just allows the rear to be a little bit more planted and kind of just, again, controllable or predictable. Chassis reinforcement. This is more preference. I do actually like the reinforcement a little bit. Either street or sport feels pretty good. It allows the car to be reinforced, and sometimes it can make the car feel a whole lot better. In this case, I think I'm going to go with sport because I already own it. And weight reduction, again, this is preference. And basically what this does is takes weight out of the car. Some people like a car that's lighter, some people like a car that's heavier. It is what is easiest to you, and the only way to really figure that out is by trying. I kind of like a little bit of a lighter car. I think for this we're going to go with street, because I like to keep it around 2,500 for me. I just think that is a pretty good number. But then again, personal preference. Engine, we can do this real quick. Engine swaps, since we're on the engine upgrades. This is basically whatever you want it to be. Right now, this is stock. It doesn't really matter what you throw into it. I might go with this one because it's owned, and I know this makes a little more power, so we can do that. And then engine upgrades. Air filter is a pretty good one to do. I would say a must is a flywheel. Having this upgraded to race just allows the engine to be a little bit nicer on itself and basically go through the gears faster. I forgot. My brain is blanking. It's nice. Do it. I would say do it. Exhaust, kind of preference to whatever you want to go with. I kind of like this. Sounds nice. But every other option besides displacement changes the displacement of the engine. It also changes it changes the power to weight ratio. Basically just moves everything around and can be used to your advantage if you want it to be more front heavy, be more rear heavy. Depends on what you're going with. And it's more like a minimal change. Pistons and compression, this does the same sort of thing, where it just changes your power to weight ratio, and also if you want to take a little bit of weight out of the engine, add more power, stuff like that, that's where you would do that. For now, I'm going to leave it stock. Cams just gives you more power. I will do that. And fuel system gives you more power. Yep, ignition. There we go. It's the same kind of thing. Valves. I don't know if this changes too much. I will upgrade it though. I might need to do a lot more. Did I do? I didn't. That's why. Let's do. I kind of want to have the turbo floater, so we can get rid of this. It's a little bit of messing around here. I'm going to make 550. I think 550 is pretty good with this. So that is everything. I hate that you can't bring out that front tire, but we're going to change that. That's all the upgrade stuff. Now we can actually get into tuning, where all the tuning values are. I've gone over this a lot in videos, but we're going to be doing it again. And I'm actually going to ditch everything that I usually do. I'm going to try stuff today. Starting out, tire pressure. This is what allows the grip of the car to feel somewhat different or somewhat of what you want. So lower grip, meaning you're going to get more grip out of the tires because there's a lower PSI, meaning it allows more contact to the ground, which then gives you more grip. Higher amounts of tire pressure, meaning your car is, or well, your tires are inflated, so it's going to give you less grip because it's technically less of a contact. That's basically that. Again, personal preference. I like my cars to be a little bit more gripped up. Usually I have my rear tires all the way down to 15. I just like grip, but certain tires do need certain like ratings, if you will. I don't really know. I just kind of run it until I think it feels good. But I'm gonna put this at 18, and let's go to like let's do 26. I feel like this is fine for now. Basically doubled in the front. Because I like a little bit less grip in the front and more grip in the rear. I just think that feels better. Gearing, this is all stuff that we need to do when we're actually driving the car. Normally, I do need to end up going ahead and changing this a little bit to that, allowing the car to get the gears nicer. But basically, you want each gear to um, basically be like an extension of the last gear. So normally, I try and aim for fourth gear to be like the main sort of gear that I'm using. If not, fourth being the one that's going to float out the car the most. Or like get me to place the most. I never really want to be clicking into fifth. Sometimes the tunes that I have do that. But I use fifth for extensions, and then third is kind of a slower gear, and then second is really slow, and then first is kind of the initial gear. That's kind of how I like to tune it. Alignment, this is basically where you get to set your car's camber, toe, and front caster. Front caster is the amount of angle that your car has. So a higher caster means you have more angle. So leaving that at 7 is fine. Toe, this basically allows you to change how the wheel is. This is where it gets a little interesting. So you can either have toe in, which is when your wheels kind of go like this, instead of being like neutral, and then you bring it in, or you can bring them out. This can allow it. It will allow the car to be able to get more grip sideways depending on which way it is, and also depending on the setup of the car. It gets a little weird. You got to really just find where you like it and find where you want to place it. You don't really want a lot of toe, but sometimes it is needed. Normally, it would be, what is it? The normal thing that I kind of see is mainly people in IRL like to have toe out in the front and toe in the rear. It also is just setup. You can obviously use toe in the front if you want, and toe out in the rear, or toe out in the rear. Yeah, I was make sure I got that right in my brain. Normally, I like toe out and toe in the rear. So I normally go like over here and then over here. I usually have a little bit less toe in the rear than I do toe out in the front. But that's kind of, well, sometimes I get to like this point, but for now I'm going to leave it with like a 3 and a 5 and see how well that is. And then camber, basically this allows to set the amount of tire that is essentially on the ground. In drifting, obviously, front camber is usually a lot in the negatives. What this basically does is negative camber does this, positive camber is the opposite. In my case, I like to do 3 in the front. I feel like that feels pretty good. And in the rear, I more like to get the tire as flat as possible. Maybe sometimes a little bit negative, and that's going to allow to have the most contact on the road, meaning your car gets more grip out of it. That's kind of what I like to do. Normally in this game, it's around -1 to -1.2. That's kind of where I have it, but for now I'll do a 1. Anti-roll bars. This allows you to set whether your car will be more oversteery or more understeery. Stiffer, I believe, adds more oversteer in this game. Let me see. To add more oversteer, because drift cars, you're basically always oversteering. You don't really want understeer in a drift car. It does sometimes just happen, depending on the corner, but oversteer gets a little bit more predictable. How you do that is you do want a stiffer. So guys, it is Editor H1 here. I really quickly wanted to jump in and just say something about my anti-roll bar explanation here, because it's a little awkward. Going back and editing this, I realized that I was one confused, and two, so, when you're tuning roll bars, you want them to be more on the smoother side, as it's going to help the car when you're going over bumps. In this case, how I have it set up, not the greatest. The rear, fine, but the 50, whatever, stiff in the front, um, A is not how you even get the car to oversteer. Two, um, just not the way to set it up. I ended up fixing this later when I was uh later in the video when I was tuning the car, and by the time we reach the tandem part, it's fixed. But what you guys want is a softer front and a softer rear. It allows the car to be better. So around like 10 to 20-ish. I know that apparently on controller you can also run it like very low, and it will basically numb your inputs to make it a little bit better. So there's a little less twitchy wheel for other people. That could work too. But just wanted to let you guys know because I don't know what I was doing on that. Um, so my mistake. Well, I make mistakes. I was thinking for more race car terms, even though technically what you would do is you would have a stiffer rear and a softer front. So I'm still wrong, but it's okay. We're gonna move on. All the rest of the stuff is good. This one, anti-roll bars, throw me in a loop. So it's definitely something to mess around with. Springs, essentially, what I like to do is have softer rear springs because the car gets more bounce. Basically, meaning it gets a little bit more grip out of that usually in games. And I like a little bit more of a stiffer front, just because it stays a little bit more planted and a little bit more easier to drive. Height doesn't really matter too much. Dampening, again, I kind of do the same thing where I like a softer rear and a stiffer front. Depends. This downforce, I'm just going to put it to speed. Brakes, this allows you to control what your brakes are doing. I like to put mine towards the front and a little bit lower on controller, just to, not do too much on the brakes. But some people do like to have it to the rear, and what the rear does is allows the car to brake from the rear. Sometimes that can be better, especially if you want a nice, smooth tandem drifting car. I just like it at the front because that's what I do in every video game, and especially in Forza. Finally, for differential, I like to have it like this, where it's 100 and 0. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. You can have a slightly more open diff style where you put this up and you have it something like this, let's say. Some people do it where they put 100 100. And this is apparently locked. I don't know if it really is, because for me, I don't like the feeling of it. I like the feeling of 100 and 0. But then again, that's a bunch of messing around, and it's definitely personal preference when it comes to where you want it to activate and where you want it to deactivate and what you want it to do. I like it like this, so we're going to leave it like this. After testing the car and doing a little bit of laps, I jumped into a public lobby and got some amazing doors. So without further ado, let's jump into that. So guys, I'm going to take a second of your guys' time here in this video, and really quickly I just wanted to jump in to talk about something. So if you guys didn't know, YouTube is actually going to be doing something in February that is going to be pretty annoying. And that is, they're going to be doubling the amount of hours it takes for creators, smaller creators in general, that are trying to reach monetization. It's going to take more time. Essentially, it's going to be doubled from 4,000 to 8,000, and the short views, I think, is going from 10 million to 20 million. Basically, everything is being doubled. So I'm trying to get monetized on my YouTube channel, hopefully before then. So please watch the video and hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate if you do so, because I want to make money from YouTube and I want to keep doing YouTube videos and hopefully make my content better in the future. So please, if you guys can, that would be great. Um, because I love doing it. It's one of the things that I spend a lot of my time doing, making content for you guys to hopefully enjoy. But I just wanted to let you guys know that. And again, all this stuff, do it all. I would appreciate it. You know, some if you guys want to, it's down there, it's free, and all of it is obviously free. But of course, if you guys don't decide to, that's fine too. But as long as you guys are watching this video and you watched all the way to this point, I do greatly appreciate it. Present a new foe has appeared, or has appeared. Indeed. Moment to catch up. Sheesh. Oh, this guy again. Wait, is this the same guy in the video? Or is this the same livery? I'm stuck on the crate. Are we serious? Pretty sick though. I mean, 13 on 13 battle. Okay, oh, sorry. I did a little bump. I wasn't expecting him to be so slow. Not gonna lie. Threw me off. I have too much grip in this car for him. But we're gonna let it rock. We can make it work. Oh yeah, we can make it work. Try not to push him off. Slow it down. Nice. Woo, baby. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, I put it in fourth. We didn't need fourth there. That scared me. Now we need fourth. Drop it to third here. Because we're going to need fourth because we're cutting across. Down into third. Get that angle. Oh, fudge. Yeah, man. Oh, a little bump at the end. I was a little shaky. That was a little shaky, but it was a lot of fun. This thing works really well. I just had. There we go. Walking in a little here. This is a good car. Oh, I ran out of gear there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, buds. Yeah, man. Transitioned a little late. Let's try and keep on it. Mach whatever right now. This is sick. No. Okay, I had to let off on that. Else I was gonna go into the crates there. Little bump. Keep on them. Woo! Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. He sounds so good. I love this dude's build. I love his rim choices too. This guy's got some nice taste. And we're gonna be following him here. Let's have some fun. This thing's got so much angle, I don't even care where I throw it. I know it can stick. This is a scrappy run and I love it. I love it. Give me doors. That's what I'm here for, baby. I'm surprised I'm getting as much doors as I am right now. Normally Forza doesn't like it. Oh, little tap. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, this is what Forza needs right here, man. This being able to tap someone's door and them not flying away. It's actually kind of fun. Stay off. Full tilt. Oh, stick it! Yeah, baby! Thank you, car. Good tune. Don't mess up. Oh my. This is a run and a half. No, I got it adrift. How? And then the flippin' DeLorean. Oh no. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found it useful at any point. And if you did, hit that like button. The tune code and share code, I guess, for this car will be found in the description, and it is on screen right now. If you guys decide to try it for yourself, it would be greatly appreciated. I think it's a really good tune. You can get a lot of angle, a lot of speed, and a lot of grip. It is a really fun car, and I've been enjoying it quite a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button, comment, do whatever you guys gotta do. I appreciate you guys a ton for checking out today's video, and I'll catch everyone in the next one. So, I'm out of here. Peace. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.